Hello everyone, and welcome to a 2-month delayed Ask a Grimm! Basically, stuff came up. That's the long and short of it. Thank you all so very much for asking your questions, I really do appreciate it. But I am not alone on this one, so why don't you introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Susan Sakura. I am a Sakura Arctic Fox PNG tuber, but I am also a part-time HoloStars clipper and girlfriend of my boyfriend here, so nice to be here.
Dude. Alright, so here we go. Atreas licok, sorry for mispronouncing that, asks, for Grimm, have you heard about the Attack on Titan live-action Broadway musical, and do you think that is cringe? For Susan, what do you think of Pokemon contests? And for both, have you seen CoffeeZilla's YouTuber Bank Won't Let You Withdraw Money video? I have heard about it, and I think in concept it's fine, but I haven't seen it itself. So, for all I know, the execution could be shit.
Pokemon contests are pretty fun, I'd say, although they have gotten better over time as the games develop. Although I kind of wish there would be more charm to it in the newer games, and kind of wish they would bring it back in some way. But I think they're very enjoyable, and you get to decorate your Pokemon with cute ribbons.
As for the CoffeeZilla, I have seen the video, haven't seen any follow-up to it. Apparently he's getting sued by Logan Paul, but I haven't seen that video yet.
I have no opinion on it. I never watched it, so no opinion.
Common Homer Simpson asks, for both, do you think that Alan cheated, or Elaine cheated, or didn't have any business to be on the Kalos League to fight Ash?
I don't believe he cheated. I believe he did fight fairly, but did he have any business being in the league? If I recall, wasn't he under wasn't he being ordered to do stuff by Lysander?
Correct.
Or something like that. So he was being manipulated, so whether or not he would have won, whether he was under Lysander's influence or not, really depends. And also you think he cheated, but no. Even though he had a Mega Charizard, he had a Charizard and a Greninja fight. Keep in mind his Charizard was a Mega one, that was the X one, which had the Dragon ability, Dragon type, if I recall. So either way, it was still I still say it was a pretty good match. Whether or not his intentions were to be there or not, we might never really know.
For me, I don't think he cheated. I think it was literally a case of just Greninja having a shitty type to fight against, and that's basically it. But I don't think he cheated necessarily, and Elaine had every reason to be in the Kalos League considering his journey up to that point, so no, I don't think he cheated, and I believe he did have business to be in the Kalos League to fight Ash. Master Wolf Gan Jik asks, for Susan, which is worse, Safari Ball or Repeat Ball? And for both, how did Blue, Red Blue, Yellow, Fire Red become a champion in the first place?
So Safari Balls, well, you can only really use them in the Safari Zone, and Repeat Balls do have some use if you're shiny hunting. So I personally maybe say the Safari Balls, because you can really only use them in one place.
As for how he became it in the first place, he beat the Elite Four.
Yeah, he just beat the Elite Four.
Angry Cowboy asks, for Grimm, any thoughts on Theft King? For Susan, most annoying thing about the Diamond and Pearl game? And for both, are you aware that the Krabby Patty is going to be real? Theft King I've heard about, and they exist. That's about it, though, for me.
The most annoying thing about Diamond and Pearl? Probably just the fact that I kept getting lost on Mount Cornet a few times. But other than that, not much else really. I like Diamond and Pearl. It's a pretty good mark in the Pokemon series.
And first time I'm hearing about the Krabby Patty being real, but I mean, hey, we've seen YouTube chefs basically make their own equivalent, so that's neat.
Yeah. I mean, Krabby Patties are pretty much just a really good gourmet burger anyway, so...
PrincessFanLady 2000 asks, for Grimm, have you heard about the arrest of Kyle A. Carrozza? For Susan, favorite 2000s anime? And for both, have you heard about the hacking of Disney and AT&T? I have heard about the arrest. Fuck this person, and I hope they get thrown under the jail.
Favorite 2000s anime? It would probably be Ouran Host Club. That was one of my first animes I got into. Well, second one, actually. My first one was actually Black Butler. But 2000s, it would be Ouran Host Club. Good anime. Wish they got a season 2, though.
As for the hacking, yep, I heard about that. Crazy shit.
I haven't heard about it, but it does sound pretty big if both those big companies got hacked.
And ASD asks, have you heard about the premier Pokemon-themed expo scam?
It was like it's supposed to be a really nice big event, and they brought like VAs from Pokemon there, but like the venue itself and like all the activities it had was just really crappy, from what I've heard. Like the interactions were like made to look like it was for a kid's birthday party or something, or
Oh,
like a small carnival. It was that bad, from what I've heard.
sad thing is, that's not even the worst of it. Outside of the abysmal management, there was also the time, there was also the moment where they brought kids from the Make-A-Wish Foundation onto the stage. At the very least, they had masks, but the thing about that is, some of them are immunocompromised. You fucking morons. So I hope that the people who are running that scam get thrown under the jail, or at least heavily charged, because fuck those guys.
At least give them some compensation, especially for those kids. They just wanted to have a good time, and it was all ruined.
Yeah, for me, I just hope that the people who were in charge of that expo get thrown under the jail or heavily fined, but anyways, Darth Deathkiller09 asks, for Mountie, have you seen Lily Orchard? I've been harassed and lied about for 12 years video. For Susan, favorite Final Fantasy and Golden Sun games? And for both, which Ash's Pokemon do you deserve more development? I think they mean, do you think deserves more development? I have seen Lily's video, and it's dog shit. Just dog shit. So much gaslighting and all this other crap, so... But then again, Lily making a video where she heavily misinterprets the situation must be a day that ends in Y.
And as for Final Fantasy and Golden Sun, I have not played either of those game series. I have heard of Final Fantasy, and I've seen like playthroughs of the games, some of the games, but I never personally played it myself.
For the both question, however, I'm going to say... I still think that Bayleaf was kind of like, not so much missed potential, but I feel like her story wasn't finished. Then again, like, Johto was a mess in that anime, so... But I'm gonna go with Chikorita or maybe Totodile, because Totodile just got nothing.
I personally think a lot of the team on Ash's team during the Unova era didn't get a ton of attention, aside from maybe Ash's Tepig. Got some development. But yeah, Ash's Boulder didn't really get too much in terms of a development thing, and Ash's Snivy had something going for it, but... I would have liked to see, like, what if happened if Snivy met its old trainer or something, like what Tepig did. But then again, a lot of Ash's Unova team didn't really get a ton of spotlight or attention, really.
Yeah. Killjin asks, for Grimm, did you hear that Elon decided to hide your likes from Twitter? And for Susan, favorite normal Pokemon. I have heard that Elon decided to hide the likes. What the fuck? That was stupid.
Me or normal play Pokemon? Well, that's kinda easy. The Delcatty line.
Nico Safer 1 asks, for Grimm, have you seen JHX64's The Angry Video Game Nerd is Not Good Anymore video? If so, is it bad? Susan, what was your reactions when you found out that Psychic Pokemon Gen 1 were overpowered, and especially with the glitch that made them immune to Ghost? And for both, did you see Keegan, I think that's how you pronounce it, Keegan J's content, and which is your favorite? I haven't seen the video because from what I have seen of it in terms of like short snippets, it comes across as a very parasocial video.
As for the Psychic Pokemon Gen 1 thing, the thing is with me, I didn't grow up with playing Gen 1 because I got into the series really late. My first gen was Generation 3. I mean, it's surprising, I guess, but because I never personally experienced it myself, I can't really give any comment on it.
As for Keegan J, I haven't seen it. They exist.
I haven't seen it either.
CaptainSmartiyePants asks, for Grimm, did you watch Oz Media's prologue video on Illuminati? Are you aware what Pokemon's editor did while on his job? For Susan, is Whitney really an unfair gym leader? Are the Kanto Pokemon overrated? And for both, any thoughts on Doge and the meme? And are you aware of the fake games problem on Steam? Dream? I think they mean Steam.
Steam.
I have seen the Oz Media video, and I hope Illuminati gets royally screwed legally, because Jesus Christ, they've done a lot wrong. No, I haven't heard about what Pokemon's editor did until this point. I'm sure I'll look it up while editing, but preemptively, I'm just gonna say what the absolute fuck.
Hey, girls.
About Whitney being really unfair, I mean, I can see why she would be a really big problem in the game, especially with her Miltank. And it could be really screwed if you have picked a Cyndaquil as your starter, unless of course you have other Pokemon to maybe combat it. But even then, it is a pretty hard fight. I can see why a lot of people would struggle with it. If she didn't have the Miltank, maybe she would be more fair. But I can see why a lot of people really don't like her. And as for Canna Pokemon being overrated, I mean, I can see why it is overrated, but then again, Ganon was the first Pokemon generation to come out, and a lot of people would probably know more about Canna Pokemon like Pikachu, Eevee, and Charizard and whatnot, just because of how long it's been around. So I'd say it depends on how you see it, really.
It's a little hard to believe that we're a couple years away from the 30th anniversary of that series. For Doge in the meme, I like the Doge meme. I think, if I remember correctly, the Doge recently passed away. If so, rest in peace to the doggy. And I am aware.
Good doggy.
Yeah, and I am aware of the fake games problem, and just hope that gets fixed.
I haven't heard of it, so. But rest in peace to the good doggo.
Commando Big Lady Officer asks, for Grimm, have you seen Null Mood's video on The Name's Junkie, and are you aware of the Suicide Squad Isekai anime? Or Susan, was Gary from the anime a very poorly written character and least favorite thing about One Piece? I haven't seen Null Mood's video on The Name's Junkie just because I don't like The Name's Junkie and I thought he just fucked off, and I'm assuming he still has, but I haven't seen it. I am aware of Suicide Squad's Isekai anime, but I haven't seen it.
I'm aware actually of that as well, I think, because there's a Hololive girl named Mori Calliope, I think, who did either the intro or the ending for that series, I think.
Wait, that's
Correct me if I'm...
I thought it was Mori Calliope.
Mori Calliope is how I learned to say it.
Okay.
As for Gary in the anime, I mean, he could have probably had some more development, I guess. I mean, granted, he did have some... like, I guess some later, somewhat development scene in, like, a special, I think, where he is, like, a professor or something, or a researcher. I guess that's a good thing. And least favorite thing about One Piece, it's so long. I just wish there were less episodes to get through.
That's what the One Piece is for, thanks to Wit Studios. Hopefully they don't use AI for that. GEUKOfficial, sorry if I mispronounced that, asks for both favorite Animal Crossing moments and favorite Pokemon anime Japanese opening, both music and clips. My favorite Animal Crossing moment, probably the first time I completed New Leaf, at least the main upgrades for that. That was a good time because I think that was actually my first Animal Crossing game, and then I eventually played New Horizons. As for favorite Pokemon anime Japanese opening,
for Animal Crossing moments for me, I mean, I started with Animal Crossing very late as well. Like, I was actually gifted New Horizons by a good friend of ours during the pandemic, and I did enjoy it. It was really fun. I guess my favorite moment as well is just that moment when you find the villager you've been looking for after using so many Nook Mile tickets. The feeling of getting them is just very satisfying. As for my favorite Japanese opening, there is one, I think. The reason I like that one is not only is it catchy, but two, when I first started YouTube, there was a video of a Lucario mascot dancing to that specific song, which was one of my first introductions to YouTube's, and one of my first introductions to that song, so I'd say that one.
CaptainFlamingoFan asks, for Grimm, are you aware of what the vegan teacher said about an innocent baby video? And for Susan, which RPG game you always come back to? I'm not aware of what the vegan teacher did. I'll probably find out in editing, but given what you've told me in the comments here, it sounds like it's absolutely vile, so I hope vegan teacher gets thrown into the jail or heavily punished.
As for RPG games, I don't really play a lot of it. I mean, I have been playing Persona 3 Portable recently, but I guess a game I could always like to go back to is, like I said, I might play through Persona 3 again after I finish the main series, finish that part of the game. But I always love playing Pokemon when I can, of course. But yeah, I'd say either Pokemon or Persona.
Ellen Kedeku, sorry if I mispronounced that, asks, for Grimm, have you heard about Dr. Disrespect texting a minor when he was banned from Twitch in 2020? Have you seen Verbalaze's short CGI video with Roxy? For Susan, favorite Chuck Jones short? Was there an RPG game that crushed a lot when you first bought it? I'm assuming they mean it's too hard? And for both, have you heard about Cartoon Studios and Amazon's AI Winnie the Pooh franchise? So, I'm aware of what Dr. Disrespect did, and fuck this guy. Just flat out fuck this guy. As for Verbalaze, Haven't seen the video, but I'm aware of its existence. Surprisingly, there wasn't like 50 million meme compilations of that in comparison to Hideaway, but oh well. Anyways.
So I have not seen Chuck Jones shorts. I don't know, I never really heard of it. As for RPG games, I don't know, but like I said, I didn't start RPGs until like much later because I always played Pokemon, so I can't really give an opinion on this one.
As for the AI Winnie the Pooh stuff, yeah, I'm familiar with it, and yeah, it just does not look good.
I think I might have seen pictures of it on Twitter, but no opinion on it, honestly. Not to say I'm with AI or anything, but
Fangirl Poison Ivy Girl fan asks, for Grimm, have you seen Salty, YouTuber's name, the degeneracy, dishonesty, and derangement of James Bear video? For Susan, what do you think of Glitch Productions and favorite anime robot? I haven't seen the James Bear video, but I have seen it in my recommendations. So, it exists.
so I have not really heard of Glitch Productions. Is it something I should know, or?
They're the ones that are doing the Amazing Digital Circus.
Oh, I know that series, but I never really watched it, so I can't really give an opinion on it. Favorite anime robot? I would have said Gibo from Danganronpa V3, but that's a game, so I guess probably the only one I could really think of that I know of, I guess, somewhat, is Frankie from One Piece.
Xans Priness asks, for Grimm, have you seen Enter the Most Shameful Predator Hunt of All Time video? Have you heard that Logan is suing CoffeeZilla? For Susan, favorite and least favorite DC characters, and did you see any animes in 2024? Yeah, I have seen the Enter video, and holy shit, that was a Jesus. Yeesh. And I've heard of it. I haven't seen the video talking about it, but I'm aware of Logan. I thought it was Jake Paul, my bad if I said that earlier, I mean. But I'm aware that he is suing CoffeeZilla.
My favorite and least DC characters. I'm not really a big DC fan, but I guess if I had to name one that my favorite, it's probably Wonder Woman. That's just because I actually went to see the movie, the live action one, in theaters, and it was actually a really good movie. So I'd say Wonder Woman's probably my favorite. Is her least favorite? All I think about, what's that one villain that has that weird, creepy mask around his mouth?
Scarecrow?
No, Bane, I think.
Oh, okay.
Is he DC or?
He's DC, yeah.
Then I'd say that one just because it's creepy.
Okay.
And for animes this year, I have, to be honest, I haven't really watched any anime at all this year, at least as far as I can recall. However, there was one I was interested in watching, and that was Frieren. And that's just because one of the Holostars boys that I watched was doing a watch-along of it. And I'm curious about the series myself, so if I get a chance, I do want to see that series if I can. But I have not really watched any anime this year yet. It may change. Who knows?
Meta527 asks, what do you think of the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon? Sorry, I couldn't come up with a better question. Yeah, it's all good. I appreciate the question. I think it was alright.
I never really seen it, so I can't give an opinion on this one.
And the final questions come from Mega Harlequin Fangirl. For Grimm, have you heard about the Chris Tyson disturbing allegations? Is Project 2025 garbage? For Susan, favorite Pokemon item and favorite RPG game puzzle? And for both, have you seen the trailer for the Spermageddon movie? Yeah, I've heard about the Chris Tyson stuff. And I'm glad that they are no longer associated with Mr. Beast. Because, holy fuck. Project 25 garbage? Yep, 100%. It's also, can't happen because of constitutional stuff. Thanks to Doomsday Debunk for providing all that stuff. It's really helpful in debunking absolute lunacy like Project 2025.
Favorite Pokemon item? Never really thought too much about items, to be honest, but I guess I had to name one, probably the Expert Belt. And my favorite RPG game puzzle? I can't really think of one, honestly. Because the other puzzles were either pretty simple to beat or just aren't too memorable for me to even name one.
And Spermageddon's trailer? No. No, I haven't.
I haven't either.
This just looks absolutely ridiculous. Like, what the absolute fuck? And not in a fun kind of ridiculous. I mean, an absolutely stupid ridiculous. Like, what the fuck is this nonsense? So, that concludes this edition of Ask a Grimm. Thank you so very much for asking all your questions. Really do appreciate it. and I'll see you for the next edition of Ask a Grimm. But before we go, Susan, you want to plug your socials? Thank you so much for showing up, by the way.
Thank you, of course, for having me, sweetie. So, my socials, you can find me here on YouTube at Susan Sakura Snowfox. I am currently a Hollow Stars clipper, not a full-time one, but I occasionally will make them for the boys. So if you are interested in Hollow Stars and their content, please do check out my channel. You can also find me on Twitter at SusanDelCatty, where I occasionally post stuff, random stuff, or retweet a lot of Hollow Stars related content. And you can also find me on Twitch at Susan Sakura Snowfox. Although I have not streamed in quite a while, I'm hoping to get back into it at some point, where you can see me play a variety of games, usually comfy chill games. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Alright, so thank you once again for showing up. Thank you all so very much for asking your questions. And if you'd like to see your questions show up in the next edition of Ask a Grimm, leave them in the comments below. I'll be happy to read them. Until then, have a fantastic day, everyone.
Bye-bye.